better be hasty. It's only around for a limited time for a spooktacular price, $17.99. Better ingredients, better pizza. Yes, it's true. Papa John's Jack-O-Lantern Pizza is coming for you. Spookily and proudly locally owned and operated.
Michelle and Colette are sisters. Sisters who don't agree on much, especially when it comes to which hockey team is the best.
Edmonton is the best, baby. Vancouver's #1.
Even when it comes to meat snacks from Wilhawks.
I love the Herrischweiner. The ham sausage rules.
But they will agree
Wilhawk beef jerky is the best.
it might just be the only thing Alberta hockey fans can agree on.
Others can try to imitate, but no one can duplicate Wilhawk beef jerky. Only available in Leduc. Get yours today, because you don't win friends with salad.
Hi, Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. I'm super excited to tell you today that we have fed over 250 families so far with our Feed 500 Families event. With that said, we are still short of our goal. We have decided to continue this on through to the end of October. With your help and your support, we can get this done. Please stop in and see us today, 13215 97th Street, or visit us online at northgategm.com.
It's like a locker room, minus the smell.
Ew.
Kevin Carius brings the banter, the buzz, and the bold sports talk. Weekday mornings from 7 to 11 on Sports 1440, Edmonton's home for sports.
Prostate cancer affects 1 in 6 men in Alberta, and this November we're fighting back. Every dollar raised fuels early detection and life-saving support. Donate today for the men in our province. Visit keepitinalberta.ca to start your fundraiser or donate today.
I hear the train coming.
Backed by popular demand, Folsom Prison Revisited. The story of one of the greatest concerts in history returns to the Jubilee Auditorium November 22nd. Step back in time before, during, and after this iconic Johnny Cash performance. You'll relive an event that changed the life of Johnny Cash and changed music forever. Tickets at Ticketmaster.ca and the Jubilee box office. Brought to you by Stars and Stories Live.
Hi, Sticky. They're breaking down the middle. Here's the Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440.
Presented by Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. WolfGMCBuick.com.
Num, num, num. Welcome to the Lowdown. Today's show, Oilers win despite defensive chaos. Blue Jays ready for the left coast Dodgers. Shohei on a plane to Toronto. And in the NBA, Warriors rule, Lakers drool. The Lowdown brought to you by Wolf GMC Buick. Fall into savings with 0% financing on all 2025 Buick and GMC vehicles. We're making it easy. Visit wolfgmcbuick.com for details. You may know we're on YouTube also. Sports 1440. We're online everywhere. iHeartRadio, sports1440.ca, and Radio Player Canada. We're on Spotify and Apple Podcasts after the show. Okay, we tweeted out on X too. On Twitter, we're at Lowetide, Declan Krueger, J Fenwick 04, and Sam W 1440. And you can text or call anytime, 833-401-1440. That's 833-401-1440. Our guest today, Kevin McCurdy, will join us. We'll talk about the Edmonton Oilers' victory in Ottawa last night. NBA preview coming up at 12:40. Looking at what happened last night, OKC and double OT. And then, the Warriors and Lakers, and a bunch of games tonight and through the weekend as well as the NBA gets underway. And Declanations is Declan CAA. We're very busy and self-important, as we always are. And with that, we begin with the introductions. He rides a bike that costs more than several of the cars driven by other members of this show. And he obeys all laws and is a courteous driver. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Sam Wilness. Sam Wilness.
Hello. How are we doing today?
I saw you almost take out that family yesterday when you were riding your bike out of the parking lot. What was that about?
It happens sometimes. Yeah. Traffic is bad.
Thinking of the tunage that you're listening to or kind of already tuned out,
50-50.
There is a thing that happens as you get older where you get in the car from work and you drive home and you pull on the driveway and you go, I don't remember a thing that happened on the way home. And it's kind of freaky.
That's happened a couple of times to me.
After the show, he races to the parking lot, revs his engine as I walk close to his car, then burns rubber out of the parking lot while almost running over me. He's diabolical. Don't let his personality fool you. It's Josh Fenwick, everybody. Josh Fenwick.
Hi, Mom. Very constant thing that's always happening.
I keep hearing this, better run, old man, as soon as I get out to the parking lot.
Well, so yeah, this started a little while back. I just saw Al in the in the parking lot.
I could hit
a
that
couple
guy.
days later, I put my car in neutral and hit the gas, and he just started laughing.
Yeah, well, I was really fear laugh is what it was. All right. He looks like he's paying attention, but is secretly listening to Lil Baby on his 8-track tape recorder because he keeps telling me not to drip too hard. It's Declan Krueger, everybody. Declan Krueger.
Did you look up Lil Baby songs to find?
I typed in Lil Baby's biggest hit.
That was probably it. Yeah, that one was Gunna.
Yeah.
Oh, we're getting some direction over here. Hold on.
Is that the right camera? Is everything fine? We got to make sure you look good.
Well,
you got the Grace Kelly in rear window camera with the soft lens.
I was thinking about this the other day.
You can't even see your the molecules and corpuscles and stuff on your face. Meanwhile, every blemish that I have is obvious with this potato phone that I got.
I know it's brutal. Listen, I was thinking about this the other day in regard to going bald. I don't know if I'm ready to give up being good looking.
Look,
it's gotten me
do it, man.
Pretty far.
Don't do it. That's why when people, I don't understand why you ever boxed. That was
so dumb.
Like you're leading with your future. You know,
love the sport. Worse off for it.
Sure. Oilers won last night. They had this is what the Oilers are. They played 2 pretty good periods, and it's like, okay. Ottawa said, okay, let's just score a couple goals. And Evan Bouchard had, I think, probably his best game of the year, but he had a defensive lapse. I thought Darnell Nurse once again struggled, and this is an ongoing thing. Walman, welcome back. Oh, my God, what a shot to win the game. But I also liked him with Nurse. I think that tandem probably hangs together for a while and hopefully turns around. All last year during the regular season, Darnell Nurse played well. He struggled in the playoffs, and early this year, he continues to struggle. And it happens. There's bad luck and all kinds of things that happen when you're playing defense. He'll get better. Bouchard will too. They won. The road trip was not a disaster. They're 3-3-1 after 7. You can take that. It's not like 4-5-1 or 2-7-1 as it was the last couple of seasons in the first 10 games. They'll be fine. They just got to keep going. By the way, I love the first goal for Ike Howard. It's interesting to me that he's been on the ice with Leon and McDavid for 8 seconds and has a goal. Maybe try that.
Well, he was gripping his stick so hard in the slot there. He was, I don't know if you've ever seen that meme of, I think it was Danny Heatley on that bad angle, just ready to gearing up, ready to go. That was Ike gliding into the slot there.
He was ready.
And oh my goodness, was he ever ready? Dominic Hasek, Pat Waugh, Martin Brodeur, Grant Fuhr, everyone in the net combined could not have stopped Ike Howard from scoring his first goal there. He wanted it so badly.
And good job by Matt Savoy on the face-off in overtime, winning it over to, I believe, Ekholm, who gave it back to Walman, and Walman just hammered that puppy. I mean, I know it was kind of a wobbly puck, and you never know where it's going to go, but we'll give him credit for a high skill play. Let's talk a little NBA. We're going to do a preview at 12:40. NBA season underway. Last night, I watched some of both. I was most interested in the Warriors. This is a team that has been their peak is gone, but their coda, where they're not at their peak anymore, but the long ride home of a great career is still going on, and they can still do some things.
Well, we'll have to get Sam and Josh in on this as well, because I know they're hoop heads. Listen, their peak, yes, is gone. But their peak was Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, Draymond Green, and Klay Thompson in their prime.
Right.
When that
healthy.
Peak's going to pass, right?
Yeah.
I still think they have enough left in the tank to go for one more run. And I've said this, and I've made allusions to this. I think if you go all in, already, they've, turned it into one of the most valuable franchises in the NBA. Steph Curry is a top 10 player ever, top 12 player ever. They are already in such a phenomenal spot as a franchise because of those 4 championships. But if you can get one more out of old man Steph Curry and old man Draymond Green and now old man Jimmy Butler. Like, you are allowed to buy basically 10 or 15 years of being bad or being mediocre because you will have had such a dynasty in this era. And you will have kind of had it in separate iterations. Like, you will have had one obviously without Kevin Durant, and then Kevin Durant comes and they win 2 more. Then Kevin Durant leaves and they win another one in 22. And then there's a chance to finally get it done what would now be 4 years later. Like, they would build such a, they would be able to build such a, I don't know what the phrase I'm looking for is, but just such good graces with their fan base. And honestly, I think they're capable of doing it, but I think this is probably the last year they have that chance.
But 17 years into his career, this guy is still doing stuff.
Steph?
Yeah.
Yeah. He has such a game that's conducive to longevity.
Yeah.
Like, LeBron doesn't, which is why LeBron's longevity has been amazing. But Steph, like, he can finish at the rim and he can get to the paint, but it's not his bread and butter. Steve Kerr obviously has them running the most motion offense you'll ever find. He's always coming off screens. He's always getting to the top of the key and shooting. But to do it at this level, it's impressive.
Steph can legitimately play until he's 40 and like be fine, as long as his ankle doesn't give out, which he hasn't had an issue with that in 7 years.
So that's probably ancient history until it isn't, of course. But
and Josh, I know we're going to do another, I'll ask you and Sam this as well. I know we're going to do more of a preview at 12:40. Do you guys feel the way I feel, like this is kind of one last gasp at a championship?
This is the swan song for sure.
I think so as well. It is one of those things where I think we'll look back on this kind of like the early 2000 Spurs, where we'll say it's a dynasty, but it's just a bunch of championships in separate years. Because I feel like every year we count out the Warriors, it's like, oh, they're not the same as they used to be. And then halfway through the season, they're still like the 6th seed and going into the playoffs, probably at least a 2nd round exit.
When you said, do you feel, I thought you were going to sing the Frampton song. I really did.
You know what's weird? I watched Almost Famous last night.
Oh, wow.
It took me deep into the morning after the games. And Peter Frampton was the musical consultant on that film.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. One day I'll tell you, I bought the 8-track of Frampton Comes Alive, and right in the middle of Baby I Love Your Way, which is a really nice ballad, he goes, ooh, baby, I fade, click, click, love your way. You had to be there, but it was wild times in the 8-track world. Something's happening behind me, but I trust Declan not to draw weird faces behind me or anything like that. Whatever he's doing is all fine. Something happened in baseball aside from Ohtani getting on the plane to Toronto. The San Francisco Giants have hired college coach Tony Vitello. Major League Baseball teams don't do that. Now, they get a pile of great players from the colleges, and usually the college players like Nick Kurtz are plug and play, or at least within a year or two of plug and play. But they just don't hire baseball managers from colleges, which is weird because in the NHL, it happens, fairly often. Jim Montgomery, Dave Hextall, remember Bob Johnson? Legendarily, the Detroit Red Wings hired Ned Harkness in the early 70s, which began Darkness with Harkness. And I think that's when Gordie Howe decided to retire, was when Harkness got there. And of course, lots of guys who played in the NCAA, like Rod Brindamore and John Tortorella, played in NCAA hockey, ended up being coaches in the NHL. But this is interesting to me that it's such a rare thing for baseball. I would think that coming to Major League Baseball, this is a cat who loves analytics and embraces it, who obviously can relate to young players. It's either going to work brilliantly and it'll be copied many, many times over the years, or it'll be dead on arrival. That's what usually happens with these things. But it is interesting, and it's pretty cool that the San Francisco Giants are doing that. We actually have time, which we never do. But I want to revisit, if I may. I just want to go back here and make sure I've got it right here. When we watched the game last night, and I know we all watched Ottawa and Edmonton, did we get the feeling that I felt like when I was watching Savoy and Ike Howard, that they were kind of passing, specifically David Tomasic, and I thought that the lines were pretty solid. I don't have like a lot of criticism. Even Adam Henrique, who for me has not looked good this year, played in his thousandth game, and I thought he did pretty well. But I did feel like Tomasek was lagging a little bit, and Roslovic is showing well, but he's running out of time. I feel like I'm going to say that I think Ike Howard gets better every game. Am I wrong?
I don't think you're wrong in the sense that he gets better every game. Your first point about him, kind of him and Savoy kind of surpassing Tomasek, like I know this game specifically, like they were given so much more opportunity on the lines they were playing,
right,
than David Tomasek. And like before he got in the press box, I thought David Tomasek was playing very well. Now, again, a lot of that is the opportunity of him getting that top
time.
Six role in power play one time, not just power play time, but he was on the first unit. It's weird because David Tomasek, I think you almost want to come in and just be like, if Ike and Matt don't, I think there's a lot of pressure on their shoulders for them to perform this year.
Mm-hmm.
But if they don't, they're so young and they're so green that you can kind of live with it and you're fine. Like David Tomasek kind of doesn't have that luxury at 29, even though he's a rookie.
He and Roslovic are same thing. They both got to make hay now.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, to your point, I think you're probably right. But I also think it's interesting that, like, I maintain what I said. I thought they were given more opportunity. And I think maybe like David Tomasek, he's not. I wouldn't mind seeing him there.
Yeah, this is the power play minutes for Tomasek, and it depends on how many power plays you're getting. I get that, but in game one it was 443, then 736, then none, then 345, then 136, then he didn't play, and then it was 239. So he's back playing yesterday, but his power play time has been a little bit sporadic, we'll say, over the last while. Now at even strength, he played 8:19 in his first game, then 7:52, then 10:42, 9:12, 10:46, and 9:22. So I'm not breaking news or anything here, but I do think that David Tomasek has to show something here in the next while because his time is not increasing, and his power play time has been taken away, now given back a little bit, and he hasn't scored. And now these kids, Ike Howard scored, Savoy got an assist. I think Roslovic is going to score. I don't know. Like, I felt the second line was kind of vanilla last night, and it was Ryan Nugent-Hopkins at center. They had Roslovic on the right side and Mangiapane on the left side. It didn't feel rugged. It didn't feel big. It didn't feel tough, and it didn't seem overly skilled. I would at least think about running a different winger there or putting Draisaitl on the second line.
I don't disagree at all. My thing is, like, the ice time is still so tilted to Connor and Leon in all situations. Like, it's just so much tougher to get into a groove and get into a rhythm. Obviously, you're still getting out there with your line mates, and obviously you're still getting opportunities. And I know Nuge had, like, what was it, 17 minutes or whatever it was, like, but it still feels like when it feels like every second shift you're going to send out the top line. It feels like you can't. There's a lack of rhythm to your game.
It's I don't know where it's going, and I know that the Glimmer Twins, McDavid and Draisaitl, they can't play this much all year long. I think they're trying to find some chemistry, and so far it's not happening.
Let me ask you this, because I don't think you would think that Andrew Mangiapane, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, and Jack Roslovic remains a line, obviously, for the duration of the season, with Hyman coming back and Leon dropping back to 2C. But like, if we at least see this for the foreseeable future, the ice times 15 for Mangiapane, and it was 15-10. It was 13-22 at 5-on-5. Nuge, he had 12-13 at 5-on-5. Roslovic had 14-23. Like, that's not really what you want out of your second line.
It's true. And unfortunately, they didn't do anything with the time they got. They played 9:24 as a line. There was 2 1-shots. There was 1 high danger chance. It went to the other side, and they had 32% expected goals. Part of it is they're not getting to pucks, and I think that might be the flu. But the other part of it is that Mangiapane started well. He's not shooting, not scoring. Nuge is brilliant on the power play, and he's been really good if he's with another skilled player. But again, he's a complimentary guy. The Oilers really have 2 drivers, and when they put them on the same line, it's a problem. Okay, 12:17. We've talked a lot, imagine, on this show. We have Kevin McCurdy coming up at 1 o'clock. Declan CAA at 1:40. We'll also be having rumors on the way next, and we're going to talk NBA for an entire segment at 12:40 this hour. Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440 and on YouTube.
Fall into savings at Wolf GMC Buick. For a very limited time, get 0% on every 2025 Buick and GMC, including the all-new Buick Envista, the Encore, Envision, and Enclave. For the GMCs, 0% on 2025s like the Sierra Half-Ton, Sierra HD, even the Yukons. Get 0% on all 2025s. Plus, get up to 84 months on the GMC Sierra Half-Ton Crew Cab. But like the leaves, these deals won't last long. Get into Wolf GMC Buick now. Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy.
Wing Wednesday at First Round. Whether you're coming for the first round, the last round, or a few rounds in between, they've got you covered. With half-price wings every Wednesday night. Half-price wings. Over 35 delicious flavors like Cajun salt and pepper, maple bacon, and Inferno wings. Now half price every Wednesday night. Wash them down with a cold pint of Canadian or Coors Light for only $5.75. Half price Wing Wednesdays at First Round in West End and now downtown. First Round, burgers, beer, sports.
Edmonton's home for sports is Sports 1440. After every game this season, tune in to Andrew Walker for the post-game show. Let's talk some hockey. Let's talk about the game on Sports 1440.
Whether you're a craft beer connoisseur or more of a wine aficionado, there's always something new to discover at Sherbrooke Liquor, a unique family-owned independent liquor store. The selection? Incredible. The non-alcohol section is also very impressive. Sherbrooke Liquor, expert, knowledgeable staff with a passion for unique finds. More than just a liquor store, we're a community. Alberta's best, the one and only Sherbrooke Liquor. Wine, spirits, and oodles of beer. Visit SherbrookeLiquor.com.
Ritchie Brothers Auctioneers presents a massive 4-day unreserved heavy equipment auction at their Nisku site, October 29th to November 1st, 8 a.m. Live online bidding. On offer, core construction heavy equipment, trucks, trailers, nearly every industry covered, including over $20 million of ag equipment. Register to bid online. It's free. Priority bids, timed auction, on-site viewing, all start October 24th. Demand for equipment is strong. Contact your local territory manager to consign. More at rbauction.com.
Wendy's most important deal of the day has a fresh lineup. Pick any 2 breakfast items for $4. New 4-piece French toast sticks, bacon or sausage wrap, biscuit or English muffin sandwiches, small hot coffee, and more. Limited time only at participating Wendy's. Taxes extra.
He knows all about the Expos and Oilers. It's the Lowdown with Lowetide on Edmonton's Sports 1440.
Presented by Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. WolfGMCBuick.com.
It's the Lowdown on Sports 1440. Did you know that was the flip side of Bridge Over Troubled Water? I bet you didn't. I bet you didn't even buy the 45. Lowdown is brought to you by Wolf GMC Buick. Fall into savings with 0% financing on all 2025 Buick and GMC vehicles. Check it out at wolfgmcbuick.com. It's a lovely day. We're having a really nice fall, but I'm starting to miss the greens of summer, to borrow from another Paul Simon song. You can feel it, man. We're just waiting for the snow and the minus 27, right? You can't fake this. You know it's coming.
Yeah, but I'm going to appreciate fall while it's here. Like fall is my favorite. It's my favorite season.
Love fall. And the trees around my house still have some leaves on them, and I'm thankful for that. Time for Rumors, brought to you by Great Canadian Solar. Great Canadian Solar has been helping homeowners and businesses harness the power of the sun for 15 years. Invest in solar and yourself. GreatCanadianSolar.com. There's just not much happening in the National Hockey League. All the waivers are, kind of done, and it's too early to trade. If a team is coming to call about, acquiring something, you just want to let them bleed out a little bit more before you make a deal in which they overpay. So nobody's doing that. And if you check any standings right now, any of the divisions, there's interesting things happening and there's shuffling going on, but there's nothing you can sink your teeth into. And usually this happens till American Thanksgiving, which is when? November.
November.
Yeah. And so, like, let's just take as an example the Pacific Division. Vegas has 12 points in 7 games. They're really doing well. 5-0-2. Vancouver 4-3. They've got 8 points, as does Seattle. And then Anaheim and Edmonton have 7 points. LA has 6. Now Calgary and San Jose are at 2 points. But they can still get into it. I mean, San Jose won't, but Calgary could still jump into it. So nothing's really been decided. You must feel really good, Josh, about the way the Flames are playing right now.
Oh, yeah. Nothing fills me with more warmth or makes me feel more giddy than about how the Calgary Flames are playing right now.
What's wrong, friend?
So much and so little all at the same time.
Yeah.
You know?
Hockey's hard. It just is. And your goalie, like, this is exactly what you can't do to a young goalie.
Well, yeah, our defense is terrible. Mackenzie Weegar, who's supposed to be our best defenseman, just hasn't gotten it going. And the defensive pairing of him and Hanley, which worked out like so well last year, I don't know what it is. They're just not clicking right now. And it's due to Weegar's slow start. And it's making it really tough on my boy Dustin Wolf to make big saves because basically every shot is a big save. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's true. There's talk of the Shane Pinto extension. Nothing's going on right now, but Elliot Friedman talked about it. Is the Senators' offer was far too low, and they had more work to do. And we've talked about the Ottawa Senators before. They've got a lot of really good young players, and I don't know where he lands in the pecking order. Like for re-signing, you want him on your team, but a lot of teams like he's a middle 6 center, a number 2 center. He had 37 points last year. He's got 7 goals in 7 games this year. He's 24 years old. I mean, the Oilers would love to have this player. But you've got, Stützle, you've got Sanderson, you got Batherson. You obviously have Tkachuk. Do they have too many good young players? Are they going to have to trade somebody?
I kind of don't know if you can ever have too many good young players. Like, I understand the mindset of, can you can't pay everybody, but yeah, I think you can find a way to make it work.
Well, they're going to try to squeeze him, but I don't think he's not squeezable.
No, I agree. But I mean, okay, so from everyone you listed, who do you just say, like, that's the trade piece?
Well, Stützle and Tkachuk are making big money, and so is Dylan Cousins.
Yeah.
And Cousins, you could trade now. His partial no trade doesn't start until 27 summer. But you're not trading Batherson. Perron's on a 1-year deal. This is tough. And then on defense, you've got Jake Sanderson. Shabbat has a no trade. Maybe Zub, but he's got a no trade as well.
I don't think they would move Zub.
Yeah, probably not. I don't know, man. I think you got to sign him because I think he's that valuable. But then you might have to curtail free agency next summer because there's gonna be no room at the inn, and that's too bad. Because I would like to see. Are we all agreed we'd like to see Ottawa back in the Stanley Cup final?
What? No. I mean, like, yeah, sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, Ottawa plays Calgary in the 2029 Stanley Cup final.
Oh, well, okay. Well, you can't say that because then obviously I am going to watch that because my team is in it. But like, if it was a Los Angeles Kings Ottawa Senators final this year or something like that, hypothetical.
Man, I wonder what the odds on that final are.
Don't come at me. But if that's what it is, then like, am I still going to tune in because it's hockey? Yes, but I'm not going to exactly be like, oh boy, I can't wait to watch the Ottawa Senators play today.
The thing about like the Ottawa Senators making the finals is like, the whole time you would just be like, how did they get here? Like, how did this team end up in the finals? It would kind of be like the Canadians during the COVID bubble.
But this is 2029. A lot of things are going to change.
Well, if you're talking, 3 seasons down the road, sure, whatever, I guess. But
well, yeah, they can go to the Stanley Cup Finals all they want in 2029. Doesn't matter. Calgary Flames are taking that puppy home. Know what I mean?
Sure. We all believe that. In baseball, I mentioned Giants are hiring Tony Vitello as their manager. It's rare for that to to happen. College players have been a big part of baseball going back to Connie Mack and the Philadelphia Athletics, which was like not 100 years ago, but a long time ago. But hiring managers out of colleges is rare for baseball, not for other sports, certainly not for hockey, but that's kind of the case right now. We're going to talk about the NBA here in two shakes of a lamb's tail in the next segment. So maybe we're not going to go too far into it right now. Anything in the NFL that I noticed that Daniel's probably not going to play.
Yep. Jaden Daniels.
Yeah.
Yep.
So any other injuries, things like Mike Evans, we talked about his broken clavicle. Any other big injuries happen on the weekend?
On this past weekend, what happened this past weekend in terms of injuries? Listen, Lamar might not come back this Sunday. That would be a big one for the Ravens. Especially like if you're the Ravens, you have to feel like with a healthy Lamar, you can win that division.
Yeah.
And you look at their schedule as well. It's not, the worst thing in the world. One of the biggest stories in the NFL for me, I don't know if you guys saw this, but Woody Johnson, the Jets owner, was doing, like a media avail talking about his head coach, Aaron Glenn. And he said, yeah, I don't know how you're supposed to coach with a quarterback playing like that regarding Justin Fields.
Oh my God.
And Justin Fields is still on the team and was just given $40 million guaranteed by Woody Johnson. Now, to Woody's credit, like Justin, he's been horrible.
But did Woody fall down?
I don't know how you as the owner do a media avail and say, yeah, I don't know how the coach is supposed to coach with our quarterback playing like that. Like if I'm Justin Fields, I'm not playing another snap for the New York Jets.
Wait a minute. Does this mean that my man Tyrod Taylor is the starting quarterback?
Well, he should be. Like, to be fair, Justin Fields has been
awful.
He's been terrible. It's over. It's done.
As long as the Jets team doctor doesn't actually accidentally
puncture his
lung, then I think Tyrod Taylor is the starter on Sunday. But you know what? There's a lot of time between Wednesday afternoon at 12:30 and Sunday at 11 a.m.
And it's funny because Aaron Glenn, he actually said, he's like, yeah, I know who the first team quarterback is going to be, but he hasn't revealed it yet. I think it's pretty safe to say it's going to be Tyrod Taylor.
What if Tyrod Taylor's just stinking it up in practice, though? And he's like,
well, that's kind of something that people are throwing out there because I don't know how he hadn't got in before this for extended periods with how Justin Fields had been playing. And I know he has seen game action, but like, yeah, it's not good over there. I didn't think the Jets were an 0-17 team bad. They might be an 0-17 team bad.
The list of starting quarterbacks like in the National Football League right now is like Dylan Gabriel, Drake May, Spencer Rattler, Jackson Dart. You mentioned Justin Fields.
There's a polar bear in Texas, man. Drake May is playing incredible.
Well, Rattler's playing good, though, right?
Nah, I wouldn't say that.
Come on now.
His numbers look okay, but they're forced to throw every possession because they get down immediately. Spencer Rattler is not the worst quarterback in the NFL, but he's far from a good quarterback. His record as a starter is like 1-12 or something. And now he has not been in situations where he's had a lot of chance to win with that Saints team, but still, like you're still playing the most important position.
Well, we all know the secret, the template for developing quarterbacks is what they've done in Indianapolis.
Draft a bust 4th overall and give a bridge quarterback a couple $1 million and watch him turn into the best quarterback in the NFL.
So here's my question.
Duke.
Here's my question about Daniel Jones now, right? So he's being paid like a ridiculous amount of money from the New York Giants to play football against them. Does he just look at the Indianapolis Colts and go, hey, man, let's just sign a deal that's as long as what I have left with the Giants, and I'll continue to play for my rate that I'm going at right now. And then when we're done, then you can pay me. Just to really stick it to the New York Football Giants.
Yeah, that's what he also has. He has a bonus in his contract where I think he gets $100,000 every win. So he's racking up a little bit of pocket money as well.
Printing money right now.
On top of his contract, on top of, obviously the buyout money, the dead money from the Giants.
Well, I'm happy for Indianapolis because they've had some they've had some weird, quarterback situations. So I'm pleased that it's going well for them. And they look like they're real. Like nobody's going to argue they're a playoff team, right?
I think the two fellows in the Kevin Karius show would argue whether or not they're real or not. But
I don't know how you can watch them and not think they're real.
So I wouldn't exactly say that they don't think they're real, but there's a lot of speculation of like, man, does like playing Indianapolis really scare you? I'm like, yeah, it does. Like we're at the point now where it's like when Daniel Jones throws a ball downfield, I'm like, man, right in the breadbasket, I'm sure. And then boom, it's right in the breadbasket. Like he looks like one of the most competent quarterbacks. I think like the MVP rankings right now should probably be going before this week was Baker Mayfield, then maybe Daniel Jones, or maybe Mahomes and Daniel Jones. I think Daniel Jones is at number one now based off Monday's game.
The worst thing he could do, if I'm his agent, I say, look, we're gonna compromise a little bit on the next contract, but we're signing here because, baby, this is a rocking chair for you, Daniel Jones.
He's definitely in the best situation he could be in.
I wouldn't let him move. If I'm his agent, I lay on the railroad track. I won't let him move.
I wouldn't let him move either. And here's your thing. You talk about taking he probably doesn't have to, because since Andrew Luck, Indianapolis has had such a quarterback carousel. Matt Ryan, Carson Wentz, there's a Phillip Rivers.
Right, yeah.
And then, like, it's just been a washed-up veteran year after year after year. They go out and draft a guy at 4th overall in Anthony Richardson, who, by the way, if you ever watched him play football, you knew he wasn't the answer, but I digress. Then they say, okay, we're going to give up on Anthony Richardson, go back to that bridge quarterback washed-up veteran thing we're doing, and they find success with it. Yeah. So to finally have success at the position when it's been, like I said, a carousel for 6 years, you go and you pay him big money.
Yeah, I agree with that. Shane says Oilers need a player from Ottawa like Ridley Gregg. Well, they traded for Trent Frederick, and they signed him for a long-term deal. He's that guy. Now he's not playing like that guy, and I get it, I understand it, but that was the idea. Ridley Gregg, by the way, I'm convinced the Oilers were at least looking at him in his draft year. They ended up taking him, but that was 2020, and he went number 28 overall in 2020. And the Oilers, I used to know this by heart, they took Dylan Holloway, which was a really good pick. Of course, we can't talk about Dylan Holloway anymore because you know why. He got offer sheeted. Mm-hmm. What's the past tense of offer sheeted? Offer sheet?
Stop trying to get me.
Go ahead, just say it, Josh.
No, absolutely not.
Just go ahead and say
stop
it.
Trying to bait me into this. I'm not going to say it.
it.
I don't want the CRTC on me. I refuse.
Offer sheet would be offer. Come on now.
However, how dare you? How dare you?
Stop. All right. It's 12:36. We're talking NBA next. Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440 and YouTube.
Edmonton Elks Spectacular is back, presented by Goodwill. October 24th versus the Calgary Stampeders, featuring pumpkin carving contest and more. Plus, we're collecting donations supporting Edmonton Women's Shelter Win House. Tickets at goelks.com.
Hey everybody, it's Jason Strudley. How would you like to join me and the superstars of hockey on an exotic holiday? Join us on a 7-night cruise through the Mexican Riviera, leaving from Los Angeles and including Cabo, Mazatlan, Puerto Vallarta, and more. While we relax and cruise the tropical waters, you can attend an intimate meet and greet with legends like Bill Ranford, Fernando Pisani, Kelly Buckberger, Ron Lowe, Gene Principe, Jack Michaels, Louis DeBrusque, and more. There's still time to get in on every hockey fan's dream cruise. Book now and save $500 per couple. The Edmonton Hockey Legends Cruise. Price start at just $23.99. Part of the proceeds support the Ben Stelter Foundation and Kids with Cancer.
Visit cast.tours/Edmonton. Call 1-833-347-7678. Call now to book and save $500 per cabin when you mention promo code Stingray Radio. That's cast.tours, 1-833-347-7678.
A huge thank you for making Sports 1440 the most listened to sports radio station in Edmonton. From Krueger to Karius to Lowetide, we've got in-depth analysis on all your favorite sports. We are Sports 1440.
At jackpotcity.net, you can do amazing things with just one casino chip.
Discover a world of incredible casino games with over 500 high-quality online slot games, including the world-renowned progressive jackpot slot Mega Moolah. Play for free at jackpotcity.net and get treated as a VIP 24/7. So visit jackpotcity.net today on your tablet, laptop, or mobile. Jackpot City, a whole world of casino games. 18 plus. Please play responsibly. This is not a gambling website.
Looking at the Alberta weather forecast, wild, unpredictable, brutally tough.
When the
this
weather
year.
turns tough, Titan Supply doesn't back down. Titan Supply has been protecting workers from conditions like this for 50 years. We stand tall with you against the elements, with the industry's best rigging, hauling, and lifting products to get you home safe. Tire chains, wire rope, round slings, chain slings, and a whole lot more. Titan Supply in Edmonton, Grand Prairie, Red Deer, and Calgary. Online at titansupply.ca. Lift, dig, haul.
Breaking down the fine art of sports, one rep at a time. The Lowdown with Lowetide. Thanks for checking out Sports 1440.
Presented by Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. WolfGMCBuick.com.
It's the Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440. Alan Mitchell, Declan Krueger, Josh Fenwick, Sam Wilness. I want you to know that I have not been threatened in any way. I'm not currently tied up, and nobody's poking me with anything. But we are going to do an NBA segment, and it starts now. These three round ball, rabid individuals are so pumped about this. All I can do is get in the way, and I want you at home to realize and to know, and I assure you, I will get in the way. So let's start here. Who's the MVP of the league in 25-26?
Before we do all that, I should have done this in the first two segments. I want to say happy birthday to my girlfriend. Love you dearly. It's her birthday today.
It's the third segment.
I know. I forget. I was too into the sports talk. Horrible by me. Love you.
You are going to get.
Birthday.
You're going to get something for her.
Oh, of course. No, I got so soft. I got so many presents.
That's good.
More than one?
Oh yeah, yeah. Of course.
And your dinner?
Well, that's a whole different story.
What do you mean?
Like she obviously gets. I don't want to run through the NBA.
Well, I would like to hear about it before the NBA.
She gets home from work obviously like a lot earlier than I do. She works like a typical work hours, 8:30 to 4:30.
Right.
I don't get out of here until like 6:30 generally.
Right.
So I was like, let me like order the dinner. Let me pick something up after work and bring it. And she was like, no, I want to order it myself. I want to get what I want. So she's like ordering herself dinner.
Nice. Girl boss for sure. I also want to interject just one more time. This is basketball related, but not directly to the NBA. For the people listening on YouTube, I'm staring directly into your soul. We had Paul Sir on the Kevin Carey show today, and it's been officially announced that the basketball show has rebranded to Hoop City with Paul Sir.
Love it.
And they'll be coming back on November 8th. And when I say they, I mean me and Paul Sir. I will be his producer for this season.
Congratulations. You know what? You, in all honesty, you are working with the best person you could work with. And now with Paul Sir, that's two really good ones.
That's great. Maybe you'll make it up there. If you become a little better, then maybe you'll outrank Declan as the best person to work with.
Man, but I will tell you this, that Paul Sir is top drawer. He's really
Paul's
good.
The best. The second time I ever met Paul Sir, he brought us Krispy Kreme donuts.
Yeah. He's also the third tallest skyscraper in Edmonton. Did you know that?
He'd be top 10.
Yeah.
So, and that's not even joking.
Okay. Who's going to win the MVP?
I will put my listen, I think there's a healthy conversation of a few guys who can, like, obviously Nikola Jokic is going to be in the conversation. SGA once again is going to be in the conversation. I think Luka Doncic, if he really gets a chance to dominate the ball in LA, will be in the conversation. But I'm going to put my foot down and stake my claim that a healthy Victor Wembanyama is going to win the MVP.
But healthy is the important word.
Yeah, because he has, like, listen, the blood clot thing, that's obviously kind of a freak accident, but he hasn't been healthy for either of the two seasons here, really. I just think that he offensively, he can get you 25. He can get his 12, 13 rebounds. He can get 3.5 to 4 assists. And defensively, the gap between him and everyone else in the league is so vast. So if San Antonio really takes a step here with Steph Castle and De'Aaron Fox and Wemby, obviously, like I mentioned, and Devin Vassell is a good young player. If they can take a step and win 50-some games, I think, and Wemby's offensive numbers are good enough, which I expect them to be, plus what he does defensively, He's going to be my pick to win MVP.
Okay, MVPs. We've got one.
I'm there with Luka Doncic.
Okay.
I think it's revenge season for him this year.
And young Samuel.
Now, this is going to be an odd take. Nikola Jokic gets his another MVP this season.
Makes it 4. I don't doubt it. Declan and I were talking out by the
best ever.
the coffee machine a couple days ago, and I was looking at some numbers. I was doing a deep dive, and I was like, oh my God, he's carrying bums to the playoffs, basically.
Yeah.
Give him the MVP every year until he retires.
Yeah, like if we're being honest, the conversation is Jokic, Jordan, then LeBron.
Yeah.
Like,
So
if we're being real about
so I looked at it yesterday. Jokic is the Nuggets offensive rating when Jokic was on the floor last season was 127.6, which would have been good for the best offense in the league last year. When he was off, they were good for 104.3, which would have been worse than the league last year. That's a 23 point swing. That's an entire Jamal Murray. That's an extra Jamal Murray that they entirely missed last year.
Question number 2. Not who's going to win Rookie of the Year. Who is going to be the most impactful rookie? So it could be a good player on a great team that elevates them.
That's a good question. I still think it's going to be Cooper Flagg because he was drafted in such a good situation. Now, he was drafted in such a good situation because the NBA is rigged and because Adam Silver is Vince McMahon.
But you don't have to watch all the games.
You walk into a situation like Anthony Davis, his health obviously is going to have to be something, we watch. But you look at that front court defensively, they're going to carry so much of a load between Davis and Derek Lively. Kyrie's not going to be there, and I don't think the offense is exactly going to flow through Cooper Flagg. It'll still go through AD. But to walk into a team as a rookie, as a first overall pick, generally you have to immediately become the number one guy. Or at very least, you have to be a 1A, 1B to maybe kind of a bridge star player. He in Dallas, like Anthony Davis is that number one. So you can be number 2. Like if Cooper Flagg finishes the season with 19 a night on like 48% shooting, I think that's more than realistic. And I also think that's more than impactful and probably more than likely. So I say, even though it's not a flashy pick, it's not outside of the box, I say Cooper Flagg.
Josh?
I agree with you, Declan, except for one thing. That jersey ain't cold. You know whose jersey is cold? Jeremiah Fears from the New Orleans Pelicans. 0 fears. Do I actually think he's going to do anything? Nope. But he's got a 0 fears jersey, and that is cold as hell. So here we go. Jeremiah Fears.
All right. Sam.
This is going to be an absolutely crazy take. It's not Cooper Flagg. It's not Fierce. It's not VJ Edgecombe. I'm pretty sure it's not even a first round pick.
Oh,
it's
spicy.
Jake LaRavia.
Who?
So, that is the Lakers rookie. He played last night. He looked good. It is Jake LaRavia.
Tell us about his game.
He's kind of just fundamental small guard, or not a small guard, but like kind of like small power forward.
Okay.
He can do a little bit of everything, score nice. Now, is he going
Was
to
this guy
be
even
a
drafted?
future Levin?
He's been in the league for like 4 years.
I thought we were talking
Has
rookies.
He played in, I had to make sure we were talking about the same guy. He played with Memphis for like 3 seasons. He was drafted in 2022.
We have to dock
Really?
Sam. We have to
John
dock
Contract?
We have to dock Sam 2 cool points for not following along. Were you listening to your little baby CD?
I was trying to think. I was like, is there
he doesn't
another?
listen to Lil Baby.
I was
Have
like, is
you
there
heard his
another
Twang Tuesday songs?
Is there another
This
guy whose
guy's
name
called-
sounds like Jake LaRavia? But once you said the Lakers, I knew
All right.
you were talking about. Yeah.
Next question. The biggest impact offseason trade is
It's a good question. You know who I think it sneaky could be? Because I think this team actually has the ceiling of a playoff team. Jordan Poole to the New Orleans Pelicans.
interesting.
Jordan Poole is a guy who's kind of like, he won his ring in Golden State and he absolutely contributed, but then he was more than happy to get his $120 million and go win 8 games a year in Washington. Now he's in a situation in like New Orleans probably won't be great, but with him, who he is a bucket, even if he's not the most efficient and he's not the best player in the world, but if him and Zion can play like a good amount of games together, I could see that Pelicans team probably capping out as a 7 or an 8 seed, but you would still take that. So I'll say, as a sneaky one, Jordan Poole to the Pelicans.
Okay, Josh.
It might be high impact in a bad way. The Brooklyn Nets this year traded Actually, you know what? I'll go on the flip side. I'll go on the good side. Cam Johnson is now on the he's now on the Denver Nuggets. They need a guy like Cam Johnson over there. On the flip side, the Brooklyn Nets now have Michael Porter Jr. And they didn't.
Yeah, but that ain't gonna have no impact.
Last year they won 26 games. This year they might win 12.
Sam.
All right. The most influential offseason trade, or just offseason move in general, I'm gonna think it is
if it's
Bradley Beal to the Clippers.
Interesting.
Interesting.
I'm intrigued
I'm
because
intrigued.
I'm a Bradley Beal is washed believer. So
nobody said Durant.
No.
No.
And here's what, like, I think Houston will kind of be the same team they were last year. It'll look different because of Durant, but I still think, like, I don't think Houston is going to win an NBA title. I still think they might be a 2 or 3 seed in the West. Now, do I think they'll probably go a little bit deeper in the playoffs than the first round? Yes, but I don't think, like, I think they're probably better, but I don't think they're so much better that they all of a sudden jump into an echelon where they can win a title.
Okay.
I got to agree with you, Declan, because I think it's one of those things where he's there for like maybe a season or two. And
well, he signed an extension with them as well.
Yeah,
but it's Kevin Durant.
It's Kevin Durant. But he goes in, he improves the team a little bit, but it's more of a long-term move because you look at a lot of the players on Houston and they have a lot of games similar to how Kevin Durant plays. So I think it's a good developmental move from the team. You know, Alfred Şengün, Reed Shepherd, Jabari Smith Jr., all those players are probably going to improve drastically from last season.
Well, Şengün is better. Like, he's the best player on that Rockets
Without
team.
a
The
doubt.
offense
Without
has
a
to go
doubt.
through him.
Yeah, you and I were just talking about it outside. It's like, well, he had that hezzy mid-range pull-up. He was not doing that last year. Kevin Durant was teaching him something in the offseason. But also, Fred VanVleet is out. And we've talked about this almost ad nauseum at this station already. Shout out basketball at the Sports 1440 station. But Fred VanVleet ran a majority of their pick and roll plays last year, and Jalen Green ran the second most pick and roll plays for the team last year. Fred VanVleet is out with an ACL injury for the entire season, and Jalen Green is no longer on the roster. Durant isn't like a run the offense kind of guy. It's the hey, this is who the play's drawn up for guy, or we give him the ball, let's do some things. I don't think they're going to be a 2 seed this year, and maybe they might go farther than the first round this year as well. But like, the long-term capability of Kevin Durant is not great.
Okay, couple things, and then we're going to pick the Eastern and Western Conference champions. Okay,
sure.
Does any team win 70 this year? No. That's just such an insane benchmark.
OKC won 68 last year.
They did. I think they take a bit of a step back, regular season wins wise. And that's not a knock on them, but it's just, you've won your championship. Like, you're going to take your foot off the gas a little in the regular season.
So everybody says nobody wins 70.
Yeah.
Okay.
Could the Cavs win 70?
I was thinking of them, Josh. I don't think
there's
good
a
enough.
lot more wins up for grab in the East.
I agree. I just don't think they're a 70-win team. But I thought about them as well.
All right. Do the Lakers make or miss the playoffs?
They make.
Oh, they make for sure.
Yeah.
They have the MVP on their team, Luka Doncic.
All right. Eastern Conference is wide open based on what my friend Declan told me. People are talking Cleveland. I saw it on a great big ESPN, riser. So it has to be true. Who do you like to win the Eastern Conference, boys?
I like Cleveland to win. I think they beat the Knicks in the conference finals. And this is the other thing. This was my take to begin the season. I'm going to double down on it here. They trade for LeBron at the deadline and get to the finals on the back of him as well. But I like Cleveland to win the East.
Everybody likes Cleveland to win the East, or do we have another selection?
Give me the Orlando Magic. Come on, baby.
No.
Paolo Banchero, big step up this year. A lot of wins in the East. You're right. So right. A lot of wins for the Orlando Magic to take.
Give me New York. New York takes the top seed. They already went to the conference finals last season. They were the runner-up.
New coach this year, too.
New coach and Mike Brown, who got coach of the year, 2 years ago now?
Yeah, that sounds right. 2 or 3 years ago with the Kings.
He is now going to be head coach of the Knicks. The Knicks are taking a big step up this year. They're going to be first.
Who is willing to give Toronto any kind of chance to do anything?
32 wins max again.
Not there yet.
Wow.
They're bouncing the play-in, if anything.
Okay. Out to the Western Conference. I think I know the names of the teams you're going to mention, but who do you pick to win the conference?
Layups of all layups.
I don't know. Like, listen, it's probably going to be OKC. They pretty much returned the same team from last year, and the team from last year was obviously an NBA championship winning team. It's probably going to be the OKC Thunder. But a little part of me thinks that this might be the year, for whatever reason, Minnesota hits some crazy magic and Anthony Edwards takes a step we've kind of all been waiting for, and the Timberwolves make the NBA Finals.
Okay.
They were a conference finals team last year.
And the year before that.
Yeah.
Western Conference Finals.
Absolutely right. Absolutely right.
Yeah, Ant needs to step up his playmaking just a little bit. He averaged 5 assists last year. If he can get that up to 7, that's a huge difference.
Does everybody agree with OKC to win the West?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
So I'm going to go around. We're going to start with you, Declan, then Josh, then Sam to wrap this segment up. I want your finalists and who's going to win the championship.
The Cavs over the Timberwolves.
Nice. That would be fun.
And LeBron wins his 5th ring and 5th finals MVP.
And retires.
No, he has one more season. No, he has to go. He has to retire after that. But here's the other thing I'll say. I got another sneaky take for this. Kind of an undeserved finals MVP. Should be Donovan Mitchell. They give it to LeBron on legacy.
Oh, I like that. That's a good take. I like that.
I notice how all of my questions kind of get answered, but somehow a second question is piggybacked onto it.
I answered that one.
Oh, yeah? No complaints. I'm just saying we've had 63 questions, not 5. All right. Josh, finalists and who wins?
Well, as I said, I think it's going to be OKC and the Magic. I think OKC over the Magic in 4. Magic have a tendency to get swept in the finals.
All right.
Shea wins his finals MVP, and we get our first back-to-back champion since 2018.
It's been a while. All right, Sam, finalists and who wins?
All right, I'm going to go Knicks over Nuggets with the Jalen Brunson winning finals MVP.
I like Sam's choice. I think that would be very exciting.
It would be exciting. Never
Outside
in a
the
million
box.
years.
No.
I just don't think they're good enough to win a title. Maybe I'm wrong.
Nick's first time, since 73?
Yeah, since 73.
Wow.
Willis Reed, Walt Frazier.
The only problem
Jerry
with
Lucas,
that
I think,
is
was on that
then
team.
their owner wins. And does he deserve that?
It's almost better because then he can kind of like shut up a little.
That'd be a nice idea. Stop picking on people. All right. On the way, we're going to talk to Kevin McCurdy. We also have Declan CAA coming up at 1:40. And, of course, more of your comments. We will talk about the Oilers. And there's a Stuart Skinner question on the text line. Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440. Time for an update with Josh.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
3 games in the AHL tonight as the Devils host the Wild. Red Wings taking on the Sabres, and the 1-6 Flames are hosting the Canadiens. Over in the NBA, 26 teams in action tonight. The Knicks and Cavs kick their seasons off down at MSG. Raptors start their season down at Atlanta. 5:30 tip-off for Toronto. And a nightcap sees Victor Wembanyama and the Spurs head to Dallas to take on the number 1 overall pick, Cooper Flagg, and the Mavericks at 7:30. Big news for baseball fans across the country is the Leafs and Raptors have moved start times of their games so they don't overlap with the Blue Jays. Also, the Giants have hired Tennessee coach Tony Vitello as the team's new manager. Down in the NFL, the Commanders have announced that QB Jaden Daniels will miss Week 8 of the season. Also, the Ravens have announced it's unclear whether former MVP Lamar Jackson will return for their game against the Bears on Sunday. The National Lacrosse League has announced that they're bringing the game to Rogers Place in January. Edmontonians will be able to watch the Calgary Roughnecks take on the Georgia Swarm. Coming up on the Lowdown with Lowetide, we'll be joined by Kevin McCurdy and today's edition of Declan NCAA. I'm Josh Fenwick. This has been your Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440, Stingray Radio Station. CKJR broadcasts from West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin.
Download the free Stingray music app and listen wherever you go.
Ugh, seriously, another door knocker? I really want to go solar, but these high-pressure tactics are exhausting.
And their prices are unbelievable. Before we do anything, let's call Great Canadian Solar.
There's a better way to go solar. Great Canadian Solar provides honest advice and fair pricing to save you from overpaying. They're easy to deal with and will never put pressure on you to buy. As a trusted local business for over 15 years, Great Canadian Solar will support you in your solar journey. Visit greatcanadiansolar.com and call today to get started.
Come for Canada's largest trade shows, the biggest names in entertainment, exhilarating sporting events, and more. And stay for the experience at the Edmonton Expo Centre. Looking for the perfect place to host your next big event? From trade shows to galas, meetings, and concerts, the Edmonton Expo Centre has the space, event expertise, and service to make your next event unforgettable. With over 522,000 square feet of flexible event space, in-house catering, and operational expertise, they bring your biggest vision to life. Learn more at edmontonexpocentre.com today.
The madness continues at the Brick. Get your home ready to host. Save up to $1,200 on Made in Canada sofas and sectionals, up to 30% off coffee tables and nightstands, and up to 25% off bedroom and dining. Buy more, save more, up to $1,000 off appliances. Hockey season is here, and so are big savings on big screen TVs. Save up to $800, plus get free local delivery on screens over 50 inches. The Brick, saving you more.
Mr. Rooter meets a ghost. 1 plunge, 2, and 3. A toilet clogged with a ghost? Man, I love plumbing. You're free now.
I will never find peace. The clog is fixed, yes, but I have never trusted the sump pump.
No problemo. I can fix that. Now go to the light, you little scamp.
Thank you, Mr. Rooter.
To resolve your unfinished plumbing business, trust one plumber, Mr. Rooter. Whoa, who turned off all the lights?
Experience the new charcoal menu at Booster Juice.
Charcoal menu?
Introducing the Eclipse Smoothie, Blackout Booster Mixer, and Midnight Booster Ball.
Where's that voice coming from?
Dark and delicious, made with activated charcoal.
Can we please turn the lights back on?
Sorry, I'm just excited about the new charcoal menu.
Wow, that is good.
Right?
Available now, only at Booster Juice.
It's a new season, Edmonton, which means it's time for new offers. Play Alberta is offering odds boosts on every Oilers game all season long. This is your chance to score big. And for a limited time only, our listeners can get an exclusive $50 free bet when they deposit $50 using code Gregor50. That's code Gregor50 for an exclusive $50 free bet. Alberta wins with Play Alberta. Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, please use your game sense. PlayAlberta.ca.
Prostate cancer affects 1 in 6 men in Alberta, and this November we're fighting back. Every dollar raised fuels early detection and life-saving support. Donate today for the men in our province. Visit keepitinalberta.ca to start your fundraiser or donate today.
The Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440. Can you fit Sports Encyclopedia on a business card?
Presented by Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. WolfGMCBuick.com.
This is the Lowdown on Sports 1440 for Wolf GMC Buick. Fall into savings with 0% financing on all 2025 Buick and GMC vehicles. We're making it easy. Visit wolfgmcbuick.com for details. A little after 1 o'clock, we have Declan CAA coming up on Declinations at 1:40. And, of course, lots of your comments about the Edmonton Oilers and a win last night. And they are now 3-1. That's better than last year when they were after 10 games, I believe 4-5-1, and the previous year they were 2-7-1. Feels like they're going to be a little better this year. Part of it's goaltending. 916 save percentage. I'm sorry, 925 save percentage at 5-on-5 for Stuart Skinner. That ranks him in a tie for 16th among goaltenders who played 90 or more minutes. Joined now by our friend Kevin McCurdy to talk about those Edmonton Oilers. Kevin, how are you today?
I'm doing well, Alan. How are you doing this week?
Good. I feel like the Oilers' goaltending is not the issue, and I'm glad. because you do get tired about, at least I do, of talking about the goaltending situation. They do not have elite goaltending. Skinner's at number 16 in terms of save percentage at 5-on-5, but they have, I'd say, mid-level goaltending, and it's been a while since we could say that, and maybe we won't be able to say it for long. But so far, goaltending hasn't been the issue for the most part for this team.
Yeah, I'd agree. I definitely also would say that it is we that get tired of listening to the belly aching about our goaltending situation. It is what it is. Dad wrote an article, I think in about November of last year, where he covered the relative goaltending cost on a per team basis, and Oilers were 26th or 28th in the league in terms of spend with 3.6 million. So if we continue to have that 3.6 million spend and we're getting league average or better goaltending, that is really what we're looking for, right? That is kind of our ideal situation. I mean, everybody wants to find the next Vezina winner hiding in the rough, but they don't come along every day. And both Skinner and Pickard have been getting it done for the most part. I wouldn't put either of those, any of the losses on the road trip on them specifically. They just didn't play very well.
I do think, and I do have time though, for Connor Ingram, and I think that it was an astute move, no matter what happens, by Stan Bowman, because part of life is having some competition and somebody looking at moving up and spiking and maybe forcing the play, and I do think that can improve performance, and Connor Ingram definitely represents competition.
Absolutely, and I don't think it was an accident that somebody, I don't remember who, but somebody eagle-eyed a picture of his new mask with the number 39 on it, which is his NHL number, or would be his NHL number if he makes it up here. And that may be presumptuous on his part, but I think it's at some point he's going to get a look with the big team. I don't think that's really much in the way of foreshadowing at all. I think that it's in the team's best interest to get him going in the bigs if he proves in his time in Baco that he's up to it. And based on what we've seen, sample size 1, he looks good so far.
Kevin McCurdy, our guest, Sports 1440, The Lowdown with Lowetide, also on YouTube. I don't like to use small sample sizes, and Darnell Nurse has played 130 minutes at 5-on-5, and the experts tell me you got to wait 200 minutes. But he's 0.3 goal share. His expected goal share is really in the ditch, 29%. When he's off the ice, the Oilers have a 56% goal share and a 58% expected goal share. Jake Walman coming back may help that situation, but I asked Rachel this on Monday, and I'll ask you the same question. If this continues, is this the year that maybe Darnell Nurse slides down the depth chart and ends up being on the third pair?
I don't think they're going to have a choice. I don't mean to disrespect Darnell Nurse's efforts here, but when you're running a 29% expected goal share and a 0% actual goal share through 6-7 games this year already, that's a tough spot to be. And yeah, it's October and everybody's making touch mistakes. We see, Bouchard making mistakes and Ekholm making mistakes and whatever, but they are eventually finding their groove and making plays to make up for it. And, Darnell Nurse has shown some astute defensive work, but the offensive shot generation from him is just mind-boggling stuff to me, right? I can't count how many times already this season that I've seen him let just an absolute muffin off the handle. No sign of a screen anywhere in sight. No sign of any sort of a traffic or any competition in front of the net. And it's just play killing. There was one the other day where they were in the last 2 minutes and they needed to make a play. And he dumped it into an empty corner out of reach of Leon and Connor. And you can hear one of them yell, "Oh, come on," at him, literally on the ice. That's the kind of stuff that, it's not going to get you any favors in the locker room. I'm not going to pretend to understand what kind of locker room dynamic it goes on with the pro team. I'm not in there. But one has to think that that kind of stuff eventually grates on the big stars on the team, and he should be one of those big stars. He's paid like it. He has the capability of it. He's an amazing skater. He can generate offense when he goes all in, and we just need a little more all in from him.
The passing has been, there are times in his career where he's, done exceptional work passing wise, but it's always been sporadic, and often it ends up in an icing, or he'll transport the puck, which he also can do well, but the creativity offensively isn't there. And on a team that really, let's be honest, Kevin, this team is designed to retrieve pucks, get the puck out under control with astute passes, and so as they mature as a team and as they upgrade the talent, Jake Walman was on the ice last night. It becomes more obvious, and that is that's the concern. I think that we're, as much as I love Darnell Nurse and what he does and cheer for him, and I want him to do well, I think that this is a, come to Jesus moment a little bit in terms of if you want to play those big minutes, you just have to perform better, specifically with passing the puck out of the zone under control.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. And the other thing too is it's been painfully obvious since we've been down in, of all people, Alec Regula and Jake Walman, just how much this team is struggling to get the puck out of the zone cleanly. Like Ekholm and Bouchard can only do so much of that work, and they've had their own struggles. And then once we, no disrespect to Emerson and Stetcher, they're doing what they can, but those guys are depth defenders. And so we need the guys that we pay the big bucks to be able to escape the zone cleanly, and that's not happening. It was showcased a little bit, as you said, last night with Walman returning, and it's going to be hopefully on showcase again when Regula returns, and hopefully it gets better still. I am still of the opinion that Alec Regula is a top 4 upside. I think he's got, if he can figure his skating out, and that may honestly still be remnants of a knee injury. I think that he's going to make a serious run of the top 4, and I think that Darnell Nurse is in real danger of becoming a third-string defenseman at $9.25 million.
Kevin McCurdy, our guest. Kevin, I put before the season, I put the 4 players kind of in a bundle. And I said, look, these guys are not all 4 of them can play on this NHL team when Zach Hyman is back. And those 4 players are Jack Roslovic, David Tomasek, Matt Savoy, and Ike Howard. And I didn't like Ike Howard's rookie games, but I think he's played a little bit better each time, scored his first NHL goal last night. I feel like the coach has not been he hasn't pushed Matt Savoy in any way. Savoy's earned all of his time, but incrementally he's getting a little bit more time. Roslovic, I still don't know about. I'm still learning about him as a player. He seems one-dimensional to me, but I feel like, and maybe I'm wrong, and I want you to tell me I'm wrong, I feel like the hold on the rope is loosening just a little bit for Tomasek. He got scratched. His power play time is not as consistent as it was. Is this happening, or am I just making it up?
No, I think it's happening, and his expected goal share last night was not very good. I think it was down in the 10th percentile, right? Like that is not going to cut it. He saw his ice time slip as a result. I really like what Tomasek brings, and he's been really close to pocketing more than a goal or 2 along this path so far. That said, I also think that, of those 4 players, the 2 that are at risk right now would be Tomasek and Roslovic. I have not seen a lot out of Roslovic that is encouraging. I've seen some interesting plays and then some different looks with the puck, but I think the team really needs to see him get going quickly, or he's going to get the Jeff Skinner treatment, and or he's going to get traded on that funky no move agreement that he has.
It's one dimensional, and I just wonder if that's what the staff wants. Well, speaking of staff, I want to ask you, people, honestly, Kevin, they text me on the daily, and they write on the blog as well about Trent Frederick, but they also write about where's that gritty guy. And so my answer is I don't think Frederick's right yet, and maybe I'm wrong. I know he played a far more ferocious game when he was in Boston before the high ankle sprain that he's playing now. But I'm also I believe that Coach Chris Knobloch wants them to play an aggressive game, but doesn't want any unnecessary penalties. And I think that he's a little obsessive about it. And I will say that so is Scotty Bowman, just so you know. So it's not like, bad coaches are obsessed about penalties being taken. But do you feel like there's more grit on this team than's being shown because of the style that Chris Knobloch would like them to play? And I understand I'm asking you to, make a little bit of a stretch here because we can't read minds.
Yeah, I think a little bit. I think that they are an extremely defensively focused team to the point that it harms their offense at times. I think they, really they have all the components to have a little more grit in their game. And the observation that I've made about hockey over the past decade is that we've seen, there's still big hits that are included in hockey and there's still grittiness, but teams have really backed off on that because in a lot of cases you're throwing a big hit and it puts you out of position and then you're in an odd man situation in some capacity or another. Like it's really about, are you sacrificing positional hockey to throw grit into the situation? And if the answer to that is yes, then most likely the coach is going to say, well, don't do that. There are times when I would like to see a little more grit. Trent Frederick's a good example. Again, I think you're right in saying that his high ankle sprain's probably not resolved. It took Leon several months into the new season before he was even close to right and arguably a full season. But another example was last night in front of Stuart Skinner on the 2-2 goal against. There's two guys sitting in front, and Kulak and Emberson are also sitting in front. And I'm not a hockey expert by any stretch of the imagination. I didn't play pro hockey, but clear the front of the net, would you? Just clear it. It's not Skinner. It's not Skinner's job to clear the front of the crease.
Yeah,
it's your defenseman's job. Get them the heck out of there.
It was not a good look on that defensive pairing, and it ended up, I know a lot of people were mad at Skinner, but I'm not sure when you've got basically an entire town in front of you, it's kind of hard to stop the puck at times.
Well, what are they expecting him to do? Ron Hextall the guy? There's only so much that he can do from there. Yeah, you want to see him, push off a little bit, and I've seen some commentary from a couple of goalies that said, he could push off a little bit, but then he's sacrificing position that everybody gets mad at him for, and that's a real tough spot to be in.
So, final question. It's a kind of an overall view, and it goes like this. They were, I believe it was 2-7-1 2 years ago after 10. It was 4-5-1 last year after 10. Now they're not at 10 games yet. They have 6 games, or 7 games they played, but they're 3-3-1. So, in your mind, the goaltending being what it is, we've talked about the defense, we've talked about the haziness or the vagueness of the lines and how they look. Are you, in your own mind, feeling that this team is stronger than they were a year ago or 2 years ago, or they're still in that sense of malaise that they seem to have every October?
I think they're probably stronger than they were last year. I remember I wrote a post after Game 3 that basically was really questioning where this team was at. I was concerned that we had not made many upgrades in the offseason, and I think we've done a better job at that this year. And I know there's people that are rabidly pro Jeff Skinner and pro Victor Arvidsson, and that's fine, but those guys, between their own struggles, between the coaching and themselves and their own gameplay, did not have as large of an impact as we would have hoped that they would have had, especially early on. They have a tough schedule in November. They have something like 20,000 kilometers of travel in that time. It is really, really, really important that they finish off October strong and pull a better than 500 out of this little homestand that they're about to be in. Because they're in for a tough slog through November, and they will be behind the 8 ball the entire home stretch if they are not able to get in front of it.
Thanks for this. Appreciate it, Kevin.
No worries. Have a good week, everyone.
There you go. Kevin McCurdy, who joins us every Wednesday. Great breakdown of the Edmonton Oilers and where they are right now. They're not in a bad. I know that if you talk to an Oilers fan, they're upset about something. And I get it. I understand you want this team to be crushing every game, but they are auditioning a lot of players, and they are finding the answers. And I believe the two young men on the wing, Howard and Savoy, gave this organization some pretty positive indicators yesterday, and that is a big deal. All right, 117. On the way, I'm going to tell you a story about a man who was intriguing to National Hockey League players, National Hockey League management and coaches. And he got a couple of chances, and then he got one final chance when he's about 27 years old. I'm going to tell you about that chance and why he got the chance on the way. Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440 and YouTube.
Fall into savings at Wolf GMC Buick. For a very limited time, get 0% on every 2025 Buick and GMC, including the all-new Buick Envista, the Encore, Envision, and Enclave. For the GMCs, 0% on 2025s like the Sierra Half-Ton, Sierra HD, even the Yukons. Get 0% on all 2025s. Plus, get up to 84 months on the GMC Sierra Half-Ton Crew Cab. But like the leaves, these deals won't last long. Get into Wolf GMC Buick now.
Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy.
Giddy up for family fun that's second to none. Your Edmonton Oil Kings are putting the Western in Western Hockey League this Saturday night.
It's Country Night in Ice District as Edmonton faces the Regina Pats.
Buckle up and ride the mechanical bull. Plus, make a new friend at the petting zoo.
And at every home game, score Calmont Kids food combos for $10 or less. The value is king-sized.
Edmonton Oil Kings, Regina Pats. Country Night this Saturday at 7.
Great family entertainment at Rogers Place starts at just $20 a seat. Save on day of game pricing now at oilkings.ca.
Carve out for a cause at the Jason Krueger Pizza Pig Out, presented by GS Construction. Thursday, November 6th at the Canadian Ice House, indulge in unlimited pizza from amazing local pizzerias while you help raise some dough for kids' sport. Then vote for your favorite slice to help crown the People's Choice Award winners. Tickets to join Edmonton's biggest and best adult pizza party are just $30. Head to JasonKruegerPizzaPigout.com for more details and to buy tickets.
Monopoly Double Play is back at McDonald's. So let's practice winning. You just won 25 grand. And go.
Yes!
I said 25 grand.
That's what I'm talking about! Yeah!
Much better. Okay, now you just won a brand new Chevrolet Corvette. I think she just fainted. Impressive. Feel like a winner on pack and in-app. Monopoly Double Play is back. While supplies last, 1 in 5 chances to win game piece prizes at outset. Chances to win draw prizes depend on number of entries in each draw. Cash prizes payable by e-transfer. See rules in-app.
Actions speak louder than words. Japa Machinery Group puts your construction plan into action with XCMG construction machinery you need. Available for rental or sale. Learn more at japamachinery.com.
He's the only person to win an arm wrestling contest with the Philly Fanatic. The Lowdown with Lowetide, now on Sports 1440.
Presented by Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. WolfGMCBuick.com.
Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440 for Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. Visit WolfGMCBuick.com. 121, Declinations, Declan CAA, coming up at 140 or so. I've got a story to tell, but before I do, can you tell us a little bit what's coming up on Declan CAA?
Well, yeah, listen, it's Wednesday, so as is the schedule for now, it's going to be my top 12 in the NCAA.
You said for now, so I feel as though there's some change afoot.
Yeah, because as it has been for the past couple of years on this show, Wednesdays have been Duncan with Declan. And with the NBA season resuming and with the CFL season ending, Wednesdays will once again become Duncan with Declan, and Thursdays, with the loss of Declan CFL, will become Declan CAA, where they have been. So it's going to be Declan CAA today, my favorite segment. Looking forward to it.
Okay, sounds good. We were talking last segment with young Kevin McCurdy about David Tomasic, and 29 years old, coming to the NHL. He was on the radar as early as 2021, but it took 4 years to finally find a fit. and how difficult it is. And NHL scouts and managers and coaches, they recognize talent, but there is a point at which age becomes the enemy of a hockey player. And it's not like 29 is older. We know this. But I'm going to tell you a story about a man who had a couple of opportunities to make the National Hockey League, and in Chicago and Detroit and in Boston, and it didn't go well. He played 3 games in 50-51 for Chicago. 52-53, he played 4 in the playoffs for Detroit. And in 53-54, he played 2 more games for the Boston Bruins. And then he went to the Western Hockey League, which was a pro league, and he played for the Seattle Americans. And as it turned out, he ended up marrying the owner's daughter, and he sort of was set up as a Seattle American or totem for the next 15 years. He had a great career. His name was Guile Fielder. And in the middle of all this, in the summer of 1957, the Detroit Red Wings acquired Guile Fielder again. And they decided they were going to put him opening night at center with Gordie Howe. And they said, look, we have Alex Delvecchio, we have other centers. We just like this guy. We're going to give him a chance. And it took 6 games. And he was back in the Western Hockey League. And so I don't know what's going to happen with David Tomasic, but I think it's an itch that needs to be scratched. And not with 6 games or 5 games, but with 40 games. I think he's here for the year. But he's either going to sink or swim. And right now, he had a lot of confidence early, got a lot of power play time, didn't score. Needs to score a goal, just like you saw with Ike Howard last night. And to end the Guile Fielder story, that was 57-58. So he goes back to Seattle for that season. And then the next year, the summer of 1958, one of the most famous train rides in the history of Canada occurred as Punch Imlach, general manager of the Toronto Maple Leafs, got on a train, and he went to 2 places. He went to Potlack, I want to get it right, Idaho, and he went to Prince Albert, Saskatchewan. He went to Potlack to try to sign Guile Fielder for the Toronto Maple Leafs a year after he had failed in Detroit. That's how much management and hockey people believed that Guile Fielder could play. And Fielder turned him down. He said, look, I've got a great situation here. I'm not going. And then Imlach took a train to Prince Albert, Saskatchewan, and he signed Johnny Bower. So David Tomasic has only played a few games, and it looks to me like he's losing the grip on a job, but that doesn't mean he is. And I think NHL teams are curious enough about this player that he's going to get the season. And he may get the season and then fly back and play in the Swedish league a year from now. But they've got to figure out what he is, because he shows enough, and you can see it on the ice. He's not a one-dimensional guy. I think Roslovic is more one-dimensional. But at some point, you have to score goals. You have to move the needle. And Tomasic has all kinds of opportunities, been getting great passes from Leon and others, but he hasn't cashed. And I know it's just 1 goal, but Ike Howard is cashed now. And Matt Savoy made a difference at a key moment in a game that was won because he won the faceoff. And if you're David Tomasic, you've got to do that in the next few games. It's just the way it is. Any sport, you tell me, any sport that you watch a player and you go, God, this guy, he should be able to do it. But if you can't, and especially offensively, then sooner or later, you're going to lose that job that you have. So that's my story. I like to tell the Guile Fielder story about once every 3 years. So, Declan, 3 years from now, you're going to hear the same damn story.
Oh, I hope not.
Yeah. Yeah. How many stories do I tell where I will tell you that both of my children tune out approximately 3 words into my story.
I love your stories. Honestly, I think you're a phenomenal storyteller, excuse me. I really
wish I had more stories.
No, I really like your stories. I think they're really interesting. I think they're very cool. It's your jokes. That's where I tune out. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if you can call them jokes, more like slurs
Your
or
quips,
insults.
Your quips. You've probably seen me roll my eyes and throw my head back a couple times.
Sure. I have. I've also seen you get up and leave the room, which I was most impressed with.
Yeah.
With Josh, he has to. How's your foot, by the way? Is it getting better now?
Yeah, my knee's doing really well, actually. There isn't even any like grinding or anything when I walk.
Good.
So
That's great news.
yeah, this is huge for the program.
Did you and you want me to continue not to say anything about your ridiculous hair?
I'm wearing a hat today.
Just in case your mom's listening.
Go ahead. Say whatever you want.
Well,
I'm wearing a hat.
I
Can
saw
neither
your-
confirm nor deny what the hair looks like.
I saw it
under here.
earlier. You're just like
You saw it earlier. I haven't taken the hat off the entire show.
No, but you were in the other room. You were
I
at the
didn't take my
bar.
hat off
You were
over
at the
there
bar.
either.
You were over at the
How
bar.
dare you try to lie to these
Just
good people?
run-
You're in media. You're supposed to
Run a
wear that
brush.
Big J Journo hat and pass on truth.
Run a brush or comb through your hair once in a while. Your mom is like, she thinks you're out there looking fine.
I think Josh is actually. He might have the third best flow on the show. That's not even being disrespectful, but you and Sam just both have good.
Well, Sam is what is he like? He's like, you remember the dog in Little House on the Prairie that was running down the side of the hill?
Congratulations, Sam. You've just been compared to a dog.
Yeah,
That's how you feel, you dog.
Sam, if Sam was running down the hill like a dog, he'd look just like that dog on Little House on the Prairie. There's a lot of hair.
If you were running up that hill, you'd look just like Kate Bush.
I would not look like Kate Bush. And by the way, your goofy show is why that song was a #1 hit. My daughter told me that.
Correct, yeah.
It's 6 degrees of whatever the hell this is. Here's what I was so wild. I don't think the Jays have a snowball's chance in hell to win, but I think they'll win. How odd. Here's what I'll say about baseball. It is weird, right? Like in game 1, Shohei could come up to the plate and hit a home run 15 miles. And that might be the last run the Dodgers score that game. It happens. Baseball is not for normal people. It's and like I have paid attention to baseball closely my whole life, and I'm still surprised by things that happen.
Can we go ahead and just admit, by the way, that Shohei is the best athlete ever?
Yep.
Yeah. Good. Thank
People
you. Glad
will
we-
argue whether he's the best baseball player ever. That's not even in question. He is the greatest baseball player in history.
Yeah. Glad we covered that.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I think
That
that
was-
he is the greatest athlete in history.
Yep. Yep.
He can, like,
You know-
Babe Ruth pitched and then he hit, but he didn't, like, I don't think he did it. I think he did it one year. He pitched 15 times and he also hit that year. And then that was it.
Yeah.
Shohei hit 3 home runs and won the damn game as the pitcher.
He threw 10 strikeouts.
That might be the best game ever.
He's an ace on the mound, and then he's also the most deadly hitter in the league at the plate.
Like Shohei, this is the best way I think to kind of describe it. Because I'm obviously not the biggest baseball guy in the world, but I have a really good friend who's a really, really big baseball guy. And like the way I think is kind of that kind of accurately describes Shohei is he's Connor McDavid, if Connor McDavid was Connor McDavid, but then was also like a top 6 goalie in the world.
That's fair. Yeah.
Or he's Patrick Mahomes if Patrick Mahomes was Patrick Mahomes, and then also a top 6 safety in the world. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like it's just
that's fair.
ridiculous.
And the pitching, like I don't think there's a position in sports that is harder on the body. Now, a particular part of the body, but like the Dodgers, like they have 4 stunning starting pitchers, and Shohei is one of them. And then they have like 4 great hitters, and Shohei is the best of them.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't know what words would fit trying to describe Shohei. The ultimate, he just is. He's everything that Muhammad Ali said about Muhammad Ali. That's Shohei.
And Muhammad Ali was pretty great himself. The one thing Shohei doesn't have going for him, not a great gambler. But you know what? You can't have everything.
Rusty says, I get Lowetide Simpsons references, jokes, but these kids don't. Ha Mattingly. He's in the World Series with the Jays. Oh, my God. I'll call it right now. This Blue Jays-Dodgers series is just like Raptors-Warriors, and we will win just like the Raptors did. Also, greatest athlete is Bo Jackson, not even close. Bo was a great athlete, no doubt about it. He was.
Bo Jackson has less career rushing yards than Jim Harbaugh.
Well, he
who
didn't
was
play
a,
for that long.
who was a court. That's exactly my point. Jim Harbaugh was a quarterback, by the way. Bo Jackson was a phenomenal athlete, but like when you look at what he actually accomplished, that list is very thin in the professional ranks.
Yeah, and he also, like, once he had the hip problem, and his strikeouts were really bad in baseball. I loved him. I loved Bo. When he ran off the side of the wall, I screamed at my television. But Shohei is just he's different, and you're right. He's done it over a long period. In 2019, the Nationals were considered heavy underdogs if they ended up wanting it all. So don't count a game before it's been played. Well, we're not. I said that at the beginning. You know, you've got to play the games, and baseball is really weird. And then we did talk about Shohei, and it doesn't matter what happens in this World Series. He is the man. LT, where does your allegiance lie in regards to the World Series? Do Expos fans and people in Montreal want the Jays to win? I can't speak for anybody in Montreal, but I will tell you that, and I'm not a Jays fan. I think everybody knows that, but I do like this team, and I love Vladdy. I'm a big Vladdy fan. So I would like the Jays to win for Vladdy. I do not think they will, because I just think the Dodgers have so much pitching. But I will say this. In every game you watch in this series, you need to hope the relief pitchers are in the game for the Dodgers by the sixth inning. Because if they are, the Jays have the chance. The Dodgers rotation is strong, their bullpen not so much. And if you see Blake Trinan just like open up a can of edibles or whatever you do, and you're going to have a good time.
They come in cans?
I don't know. I don't do any of that.
If you guys know, send me a link.
I do not know anything about that product. I like my Crown Royal and ginger ale.
Not a bad combo.
No, I don't smoke the marijuana.
Okay, well, you don't smoke edibles, first of all. Anyways, regardless of that fact, ginger ale, what a great mixer. I think it's the best mixer.
Ginger ale's so good.
Sorry, Coca-Cola. You've been dethroned.
Well,
by
the
ginger ale.
Coca-Cola's great too. I love a good rye of rum and Coke is excellent, but ginger ale is my go-to. Lowetide, why is it that physical players come to Edmonton and become dainty perimeter players, Doug? Well, we talked about it with McCurdy, and I think that part of it is that the coach is, as Scotty Bowman was, absolutely convinced that taking penalties was a sign of undisciplined play, and you shouldn't do it. I think the Edmonton Oilers play like that because they're afraid to take a penalty. And I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm just saying that's what I believe. Lowetide thoughts, Expos on Netflix. I haven't watched it yet. When I watch something like that, I need to take all the time and just watch it and be devoted to it. And I don't have a lot to do in a day, but I'm slow to do it. So I need to have, like, I might watch it on, it can't be Saturday. I have a lot to do Saturday. I got to write on Sunday. It might be Monday. The Karen's and Camrose on Mondays, and there'll be a little bit of time in the afternoon. Maybe I'll do that. Yeah. Might be Monday. But I will let you know as soon as I watch it, and I won't keep it. Oh, by the way, Monday. Can we tell them what's happening Monday?
Absolutely. Go for of course.
The brilliant and legendary Inside the Truck podcast. Which is led by, have you heard that? Have you listened to it? It's on Spotify. Paul Hemming is the brains of the operation, and Steve Lansky is also on the show. And they are two guys who've worked approximately 650 years of sports television. Most of that is Steve, and Paul's been in it for about 30 years. And so they're going to be on Monday, the whole show. And we're going to talk to them Monday about what they've done in their lives, what they regret. No, I'm teasing. We're going to talk about Inside the Truck, why it's a great podcast, why people should listen, and then we're going to have them regale us with all kinds of stories. And then I'm going to ask, not Steve, I can't ask him. I'm going to ask who the brains of the operation is, because I know, but I would like to get it on tape. And that's coming up Monday between noon and 2.
And there will be, now correct me if I'm wrong on this, there's going to be no Jason, no Rachel on the show that day. So
I have to let them know.
Yes.
And by the way, I was informed yesterday that on Monday I said Rachel Dory twice and Rachel Krychak 4 times. So I want credit for getting closer to being 6 times mentioning Rachel Krychak. You know, it's hard to do. You know, people change their names.
Yeah, listen, it's especially when you've had her on for however long, calling her Rachel Dory.
Exactly.
It doesn't
It's like
get-
when you change your name. By the way, you could pay for the meal. I was thinking about it. She could order it, but you could pay for it.
I offered. I tried to, and I
transfer.
still will. Like that's what I'll end up doing. I
Yeah.
think I'll just send the money for the meal.
Do you have flowers?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
Does she like chocolates or anything like that?
yeah, she likes chocolates.
Okay. I don't want to interfere too much.
Listen, I got some good presents.
Okay.
I think I did well.
Are you good to her?
Yes.
Okay. Then I will leave it there. As long as you're good to her, then I won't complain. I won't get after you.
Nice.
But that has to apply for all time, not just for a little while.
Yeah, obviously.
All right. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. All right. Are you ready for Declanation's Declan CAA?
Always love it.
On the way next, Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440 and YouTube.
Edmonton Elks Spectacular is back, presented by Goodwill. October 24th versus the Calgary Stampeders, featuring pumpkin carving contest and more. Plus, we're collecting donations supporting Edmonton Women's Shelter Win House. Tickets at goelks.com.
This hockey season, before every game, check out the pregame show with Andrew Walker on Sports 1440. It's brought to you by Titan Supply, your only source for rigging, lifting, and hauling products. Visit titansupply.ca.
Bringing every project to life requires the right team. By joining the Japa Machinery Group service or sales teams, you can be part of setting a new industry standard. Celebrating a legacy of excellence with Japa. Learn more at japamachinery.com.
When you get into a new Tundra, you might find yourself hauling ATVs into the great outdoors, even if your last outdoor experience was a backyard barbecue. Because with this much towing capability, fun gets a serious upgrade. All that's left to do is drive it home. Get in and go right now at Toyota, where you can lease a 2025 Tundra 4x4 double cab SR5 from $145 weekly for 64 months at 4.39% with $7,999 down. Visit shoptoyota.ca or your local Prairie Toyota dealer today.
When you've just got to get your pigskin fix in, it's Game On! Game On is Sherwood Park's new home for game night and good times. Every Sunday, Monday, and Thursday, Game On wants to see you cheer on your favorite American football teams with 40-plus TVs to watch. You can enjoy $7 pints of Molson and Miller Lite, as well as $7 dry ribs. Get your squad together and book a table online at GameOnSP.ca. Are you ready for some football? Then it's Game On! Game On Kitchen, Sports Bar, Arcade, Baseline Road, Sherwood Park.
You need the lowdown? It's with Lowetide right now on Sports 1440.
Presented by Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. WolfGMCBuick.com.
Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440 for Wolf GMC Buick. Check it out at wolfgmcbuick.com. You can always tell when Declan is bored or I'm slow on the uptake. He just puts one of his giant hands up and puts his face into it and just looks off into the distance like, take me now, Jesus. But he doesn't really mean it. It's time for Declanations, brought to you by Elks Nation. Check out the new website, elksnation.ca. Articles, podcasts, and more breaking down the green and gold, the most in-depth double-E football coverage online, elksnation.ca. With that, we turn the microphone over to Mr. Declan as he rips through his top 12 NCAA football teams.
Okay, coming in at number 1, I went with Ohio State. The last couple weeks, I hadn't had them there. I had Miami ahead of them. And also, by the way, this past weekend in college football, insane. The number 2, 5, 7, and 10 teams in the country all lost. Number 2, 5, and 7 all undefeated.
Those were my lottery numbers too.
2, 5, 7, 10.
Mm-hmm.
I hadn't had Ohio State first because I didn't think they necessarily earned the number 1 seed based on resume. But you know what? Like, they're the best team in college football. They have the best defense in college football. They're number 1 officially. They have been since week 2. They run through everyone they face. maybe their wins weren't as impressive as Indiana's win against Oregon on the road, or what Miami did versus a South Florida team that looks very good, and that Notre Dame win. But you know what? Ohio State's the best team in the country. Let's not play around. I have them number 1 at 7-0. Number 2, I have Indiana also at 7-0. I think that it's pretty easy to put those two at 1 and 2. They've both done more than enough to earn it. At number 3, I have Texas A&M also at 7-0. Texas A&M, I don't know if they're even the best team in the SEC. It's probably Alabama. But again, they have that Notre Dame win on the road. They've beaten every single team that's been put in front of them. They're undefeated in conference play in the deepest conference. Do I think some losses will catch up with them here? Yes. Do I think they're going to be an 8-4 team? Probably not, like I had maybe alluded to earlier. 9-3, 10-2. But heck, you look at their schedule, they could be 11-1 and headed to the SEC
Did you
championship
say
game.
heck?
Yes.
I have one question for you.
Yeah.
I don't want to delay you, but how much of an outlier historically is it for the number 2 team to be the number 2 team?
Like, in what sense?
Well, when I was growing up, I never saw them. And I don't recall when they became a powerhouse.
Oh, Indiana.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, this is within the last, you mean specifically Indiana. This is in the last 2 years. This is all Kurt Cignetti.
Okay.
Kurt Cignetti, like 3 years ago, was making $425K as the head coach at James Madison. Last year, he got a pay raise up to like $4.6 million in Indiana. This year, he's making over $8 million. And going into next season, he's going to start making, I think it's $11.6 million. And he is worth every penny. He has turned Indiana into a preeminent program.
They
in
were
college
nothing.
football.
Like, I don't recall them.
They have the most losses in FBS history.
Really?
There's never been a school that has lost more games playing FBS football than Indiana. And they're now the number 2 team in the country.
That's incredible.
I don't think it's happened since 1947 or something.
That's sort of what I wanted you to say.
Yeah, and this isn't just, who do we put there? They earn it. There's an argument they could be number 1.
Man,
like they're playing phenomenal. Like, yeah, they're number 2. Texas A&M number 3. I have Bama at number 4. Bama obviously had that Florida State hiccup in the first week of the season, but since then they've beaten 4 ranked opponents in a row. Now, don't get me wrong. The AP poll overranks SEC teams. The College Football Playoff Committee overranks SEC teams. So SEC teams we can credit them with ranked wins. That's not lost on me. I'm the biggest guy who's outspoken against it. But regardless, Alabama is playing great football. Ty Simpson is playing at a Heisman level. They do all have all those ranked wins stacked up. I think number 4 is a fair spot. Number 5, I have Oregon at 6-1. Beat the brakes off Rutgers, 56-10. Needed that big bounce back game. Number 6, Georgia. Georgia just beat Ole Miss. Ole Miss was the number 5 team in the country coming into the week. Georgia was number 9. Ole Miss beat them Georgia beat them 43-35. Really, really exciting, fun game. Georgia was down 35-26 in the fourth quarter. They ended up scoring 17 unanswered in the fourth quarter to win. Another kind of Ole Miss collapse job. They're similar to Penn State in that sense, but I think this year especially, obviously, they have a little bit more kind of structure and fight to them, but Georgia got it done. Credit to them. At number 7, I have BYU. BYU at 7-0. I thought Texas Tech was going to run away with the Big 12. I still think they're the best team in the Big 12, despite that loss this past weekend. But BYU, they're undefeated. They just beat Utah, which was a tough team. They were a ranked team coming into the game. They're 4-0 in the Big 12, which is a conference with a lot of parity. I'm going to give them the respect and put them there at number 7. Number 8, I have Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech is a team that also hasn't been ranked in the top 10 since like the 60s or something, I think
crazy.
It is. Hayes King is their quarterback. He is electric. He is phenomenal. And all of a sudden, with Miami's loss, they look like a team who could be the best team in the ACC. And Miami doesn't control their own destiny anymore because Georgia Tech and Virginia are both undefeated in ACC play. Which is funny because Virginia, excuse me, not Virginia Tech, which is funny because Virginia lost to NC State, which is an ACC team, but it wasn't actually a conference game in the second week of the season. Really funny. So Miami all of a sudden could be in trouble. Number 9, I have Ole Miss at 6-1. They're coming off that Georgia loss, like I mentioned. At number 10, I have Vanderbilt at 6-1. I talked about the number team 10 in the country losing. That was LSU, and they lost to Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt's only loss was to Alabama in a competitive game. They're 6-1. I really like what they're doing. I like what Diego Paiva's doing. Number 10. 11, I have Texas Tech at 6-1 following their ASU loss. This is the thing. Some people might be wondering why they're still in the top 12 following that loss. So Texas Tech did lose to ASU this past weekend. That's true. But they lost to ASU this past weekend on the road by 4 with a backup quarterback. ASU lost to Utah 42-10. And Texas Tech beat Utah 34-10. So
That's
it's
the Utes?
Yes. So it's a rock, paper, scissors thing here. They're 1-1 against each other. When you factor all that in, the fact that Texas Tech won their game against Utah by 24, ASU lost to Utah by 32. Texas Tech won on the road as well, by the way. And then Texas Tech only lost by 4 on the road with a backup quarterback. I'm giving them the respect at the 11 spot. Number 12, I have Virginia at 6-1. And with Memphis's loss this past weekend, my group of 5 team is now USF. And they play Memphis this weekend. Their only loss this season was to Miami.
USF is, what is that?
University of South Florida.
Okay. Wow.
And that's my top 12. Unbelievable weekend, though, this past weekend. Like I said, the number 2, 5, 7, and 10 teams all losing. 2, 5, 7 all undefeated.
I will tell you, I find it exciting when teams that historically, haven't been in the top 25 are showing up in the top 10 or 12.
Oh,
to me, that's the way it should be.
It's amazing. Like the parity that we're now seeing in college football is phenomenal. Like there's always been parity, but there's the top heavy schools, the Blue Bloods have stayed the Blue Bloods. We don't see that as much anymore with NIL. And just really quickly before we move on, I want to pick a bone with the AP poll. Tennessee at 17 and 5-2, and LSU at 20 at 5-2 have done absolutely nothing to deserve to be ranked in the top 25. No ranked wins. The best teams they've played, they've lost to. They are there on conference affiliation. They are not there on merit. And you look at some of the schools ranked behind them. Indiana at 6-1. USC, who beat a Michigan team who's now ranked, who has the same record and actually has that ranked win. Utah, who I mentioned has that win over ASU, is now in the top 25. Houston, the way they're playing. These are all schools that deserve to be above Tennessee and LSU. Tennessee and LSU have no claim to be there based on what they've actually done on the field. They're only there because of conference affiliation. Once again, it's SEC bias, and it is a joke.
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Nick Saban is 73.
Yep.
Is he done, or would he ever come back?
I don't think he'd ever come back. I think he didn't like the way NIL kind of took a hold of the sport. And I think he rightfully knew to get out before it was too late, because Bama, as good as they've been as a program, they don't have like the money or the resources to compete with Michigan or Ohio State or Oregon with Phil Knight or even some other SEC schools. So I think he kind of saw the writing on the wall, wanted to get out before it was too late. And I think he feels like he made the right decision.
Why are college coaches getting fired mid-season more often now?
Yeah, we have seen a little bit, haven't we? It's in college, like if you're at a certain program, there are certain expectations you need to uphold. And if you can't get there, they're going to ship you out, because there are rich boosters who are going to fund that buyout and a new coach.
Okay. So this is what we're seeing is the control that like college presidents and whomever was in control had on things. It's kind of maybe morphing into something else.
It was kind of always boosters a little bit like there, but it is presidents and ADs. It is athletic directors as well. But it's just like when you're at a certain school, you have to win 10 games every year.
Right.
And you have to be in like a New Year's Six bowl. Now that's morphed into the college football playoff. Like there are no big bowl games outside of the college football playoff.
You're right.
You have to make the college football playoff. And if you can't get there at a program like an LSU or like a Penn State, you are going to be let go.
No, like I remember years where, like, let's say Notre Dame was playing on the 27th and you knew they had a terrible year.
Yeah.
Oh my God, they're playing on the 27th.
I think Notre Dame actually might make the college football playoff.
Really?
I think so. And they're good. They'd be
they had
favored
those
on
2 losses, right? At the
started
beginning.
the season 0-2, lost to Miami and Texas A&M. But Josh, do you guys watch college football ever?
Not me, Sam. I think you said something about you watching it.
Not incredibly much. I follow it very, very loosely.
Okay.
Good day, Lowetide. I was wondering if you could Google Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Dennis and Dee sing Bismarcky. You got what I need. Saw it last night. Laughed a little bit thinking of you guys. I thought you might find it funny or maybe like the song. Greater Man Jay. I love It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. The Rumham episode, the Eagles Super Bowl episode, the episode that is a musical is unacceptable. It is like I laughed at it and I kept saying no, 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 no. So I while laughing, I was like horrified. And then the one where I don't remember which one it was, where Danny DeVito is eavesdropping inside a leather couch and he's naked and he comes. I'm not going to tell you what he says, but one of the great visual jokes all time in television. He crawls out, breaks the couch wide open, crawls out naked. I'm not going to tell you what he said, but that is one of the funniest moments in the history of television. I love It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Do you guys watch that?
I see clips for it here and there, but
so it's like the NBA to you.
No. Wait. Adam Silver runs. I didn't know Adam Silver was in charge of It's Always Sunny. No, I see clips like Charlie not knowing how to read, but he can read Gaelic because his pen pal taught him.
Man, people are texting troll now, so it's time for us to go. Good show, though, by the way. I think, boys, we did great, right? We did everything we were supposed to. We didn't leave any stone unturned. I will give you my Jays prediction tomorrow. Are you guys in with giving your predictions tomorrow?
Yeah, I'd be
on
happy
the World Series. Okay. All right. So tomorrow is what?
Thursday.
Bag milk.
Thursday.
Yeah, Bag Milk will be on. We might have a Jays guest. I'm not sure yet. Maybe Cam. Maybe. Yeah. I think we should have a Jays guest on just to talk about it a little bit. Jason Krueger is on the way. Thanks so much for tuning into the Lowdown. Please enjoy your day.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
Three games in the NHL tonight as the Devils host the Wild, Red Wings taking on the Sabres, and the 1-6 Flames are hosting the Canadiens. Over in the NBA, 26 teams in action tonight. The Knicks and Cavs kick their season off in MSG. Raptors start their season down in Atlanta, 5:30 tip-off for Toronto. And the nightcap sees Victor Wembanyama and the Spurs head to Dallas to take on the number 1 overall pick, Cooper Flagg and the Mavericks. Big news for baseball fans across the country as the Leafs and Raptors have moved start times for their games so they don't overlap with the Toronto Blue Jays. Also, the Giants have hired Tennessee coach Tony Vitello to be the team's new manager. Down in the NFL, the Commanders have announced that quarterback Jaden Daniels will miss Week 8 of the season. Also, the Ravens have announced it's unclear whether former MVP Lamar Jackson will return for their game against the Bears on Sunday. CFL Award nominees announced today. Elks star running back Justin Rankin was on the team's nomination for MOP consideration. Other team nominees for the Elks include Joel DeBlanco, Cordell Jackson, and Javon Lee. The National Lacrosse League has announced they're bringing a game to Rogers Place in January. Edmontonians will be able to watch the Calgary Roughnecks take on the Georgia Swarm. Coming up on Sports 1440, it is the Jason Krueger Show. I'm Josh Fenwick. This has been a Sports 1440 update.